From Yahoo chat rooms to human trafficking rings. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the internet was a wild, uncharted frontier, a place where kids like me stumbled into Yahoo Messenger and its chat rooms, seeking connection in a digital age that felt thrillingly new. User-created rooms popped up like neon signs in a seedy alley, some innocently titled, others brazenly predatory. 12 and Craving Cock, a name that still chills the blood, alongside countless others telegraphing their intent with unapologetic clarity. These weren't hidden corners of the dark web. They were right there in plain sight on a platform millions use daily. Adults lurked, their messages dripping with intent, probing for the young and vulnerable, exploiting the naivety of a generation raised before online safety was a household term. What I saw back then wasn't an anomaly, it was a harbinger. That dark, seedy underbelly didn't vanish. It metastasized, spreading across today's social media platforms from Snapchat to Facebook, fueling a predatory ecosystem that now feeds full-blown human trafficking rings. The danger is real, visceral, and closer than most parents dare to imagine. The chat room gateway, a predator's playground, picture it. A 12-year-old logs into Yahoo Messenger, drawn by the promise of chat rooms tailored to their interests, or their age. The interface was clunky, the moderation sparse, and the anonymity absolute. In rooms like the ones you remember, predators didn't need to dig deep. Kids announced their ages in screen names, Jenny 12 or Escador Boy 13, and the sharks circled. A message pings, hey, you sound cool, got a pic? It's casual, disarming, the first step in a grooming process that's as old as predation itself, now turbocharged by technology. Back then, the tools were rudimentary, text chats, maybe a grainy webcam, but the intent was the same: isolate, manipulate, exploit. These rooms weren't just about crude come-ons. Predators played the long game, posing as peers or sympathetic adults, building trust over days or weeks. They'd ask about school, parents, feelings, anything to find a crack in a child's defenses. A lonely kid, a rebellious one, or just a curious one made the perfect mark. The payoff might be a nude photo, a secret meetup, or worse. And with little oversight, Yahoo's chat rooms were a petri dish for this behavior, a testing ground that taught predators how to weaponize the internet, the modern spread, Snapchat, Facebook, and beyond. Fast forward to 2025. Yahoo Chat is long gone, but its legacy thrives on platforms like Snapchat and Facebook, where the stakes are higher and the reach is global. Snapchat's disappearing messages lure kids with a false sense of security, perfect for predators who coax explicit photos, knowing the evidence vanishes, or so the victim thinks. Screenshots are forever. Facebook's sprawling groups, some cloaked as Christian communities or support networks, harbor pedophile rings trading child sexual abuse material, CSAM, under the radar. A 2023 investigation by The Guardian exposed dozens of such groups, some with thousands of members, operating with coded language and private links, modern chat rooms with better PR. The methods have evolved, but the playbook's the same. Predators catfish with fake profiles, teens on Snapchat, friendly moms on Facebook, mirroring their target's interests. They groom with flattery, gifts, digital currency, game credits, or feigned romance, exploiting emotional gaps. On gaming platforms like Roblox or Discord, they blend into voice chats, offering in-game perks to kids who will prove they're cool with a compromising act. Sextortion's the next step. Once they've got a photo, they blackmail for more, or for money, silence, or an in-person meet. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported over 29 million CSAM tips in 2024 alone, a number that's doubled in 5 years. This isn't a fringe problem, it's an epidemic. From grooming to trafficking, the pipeline. What starts as a chat can end in a nightmare. Human trafficking rings have latched onto these platforms, turning predation into profit. The pipeline's chillingly efficient. A predator identifies a vulnerable kid, maybe one with absent parents or a hunger for validation, through social media posts or gaming chats. They build rapport, then escalate. Send me a pic and I'll send you $50, or meet me and I'll take care of you. Some use coercion outright, threatening to leak photos to family or friends. Others lure with promises of love or escape, targeting runaways or kids in unstable homes. Once contact's made, trafficking kicks in. Victims are coerced into producing CSAM for sale on the dark web, or they're physically trafficked, moved across cities or borders for sexual exploitation. A 2022 UN report found that 60% of identified trafficking victims globally were minors, with online recruitment surging since the pandemic. Platforms like Telegram and WhatsApp with their encryption are trafficking hubs, letting predators coordinate with impunity. The Romeo tactic, fake romance, remains a favorite, but now it's paired with logistics, fake job offers, plane tickets, or modeling gigs that end in locked rooms. The warning signs. What parents must know: predators thrive on ignorance, so here's what to watch for. They target kids who overshare online, posting about fights with parents, loneliness, or personal details like school schedules. Sudden secrecy's a red flag: a kid who locks their phone, clears histories, or gets cagey about new friends. Gifts or money from nowhere, PayPal transfers, Venmo pings, are bait. Emotional shifts, guilt, fear, or obsession with a device, signal grooming. And if they're sneaking out or talking about meeting someone from the internet, it's past time to act. Their methods are slick. They'll use peer pressure, normalizing risky behavior in group chats. Everyone's doing it. They'll exploit trust, posing as mentors or idols. They'll prey on curiosity, dangling taboo content to hook a kid. And they'll strike fast. Grooming can take hours, not weeks, if the target's ripe. Parents can't afford to be passive. The stakes are too high. Hands-on protection, privacy, isn't the priority. Child safety locks, time limits, website filters are a start, but they're flimsy. Kids crack them with VPNs or borrowed devices. Predators adapt faster than software updates. The real shield is hands-on vigilance. Your minor child's privacy isn't sacred. It's a privilege you grant, balanced against your duty to keep them alive and unscarred. You have the legal right and moral obligation to dig into their devices, messages, apps, search histories, all of it. A 12-year-old doesn't need a secret Snapchat streak with a stranger. They need boundaries. Talk to them, bluntly. Explain predators don't look like monsters. They look like friends. Monitor screen time in shared spaces. No bedrooms, no locked doors. Know their passwords, follow their accounts, and spot check their chats. It's not about trust. It's about reality. A 2024 Pew study found 70% of teens hide online activity from parents, often stumbling into danger they don't recognize. Privacy's a luxury they can earn when they're not prey. The bigger fight, a call to arms. This isn't just a parenting problem, it's a societal one. Platforms profit while kids suffer. Laws lag while traffickers innovate. Demand accountability. Push for real moderation, not PR stunts. Report suspicious accounts not just to apps but to the FBI or NCMEC. Educate others. Ignorance is the predator's ally. The chat rooms of your youth were a warning shot. Today's internet is a war zone. We can't lock kids in bubbles, but we can arm ourselves and them with the ugly truth. Their safety's on us, and it's a fight we can't lose. P.S. I'm Scott Young, a 43-year-old father of 4 biological children and 6 stepchildren. The love I have for my kids drives my desire to help keep every child safe. I've raised 8 children and impacted the lives of countless others, witnessing firsthand the dangers of online communities, from those Yahoo chat rooms of my youth to the apps my kids use today. I've strived to teach my own children safety measures, but it's not just on them to protect themselves. There's a disconnect between the youth and us parents, a chasm widening with every unmonitored screen. It needs bridges built on communication and boundaries enforced with vigilance. It's always been about talking, listening, knowing. They are our future, and our actions, or in many cases inaction, either raise monsters or victims. We need to do better. By Scott Young.